Yo, what's good everyone? Today I'm gonna be breaking down a Gunna type beat I made a while ago, and I'm gonna show you the whole process. I'm gonna go through the melody, I'm gonna go through the drums, I'm gonna go through the arrangement, effects, everything. So stay tuned for my next sample pack. This melody right here I'm gonna show you is gonna be in the pack, so follow Loopside Records on Instagram, and yeah, let's get right into it. So I basically started off with this sound right here, and this is just a synth. I use labs for this one, and this preset is from the textural pads, and it's a really unique pattern. As you can see, it's basically just one note for 4 bars, and that's all. And this is how it sounds. I started off with this sound because I wanted to give that really dark feel, and then I moved on to these keys right here. And this is also from Labs, as you can see, and this is basically it's a guitar pluck, but I put on some reverb, a really heavy reverb, as you can see, and I cut off a lot of low end. So after I got the whole vibe with this, I moved on to a guitar, and I used Arcade for this guitar. And Arcade is a really good plugin you can use to make melodies. It's basically a sample library. It's basically just a lick library you can use, and there are a bunch of them. So if you want us to make a tutorial on that, let us know in the comments below. And I use this Somber Rounds bank from the Passport line, and yeah, this is how it sounds. And after that, I wanted to make it sound more darker, more ambient, so I basically half-timed it, and then I cut out some lows. I usually cut out at 200 Hz. I prefer that kind of range, so the melody won't mess up the 808 with the lower frequencies, and I put on some reverb. Then I went into Arcade again, and I used this Funky Flutes line, and I used this flute melody to kind of make a top melody for the whole loop, and this is how it sounds. And I don't think I really put too much on it with the effects. I put on light reverb and a shaper box with this pan effect, and I turned down the mix to 30%. Then I wanted to add like some kind of textures, so I used this texture right here, and I'm gonna show you how it sounds. And this is from the Arcade Contact Bank, and it's the Heavy Rain preset in the textures tab right here. So yeah, that's about the melody. Let's go move on to the drums. So I laid down a really basic, a really easy two-step hi-hat pattern with some rolls, and this is how it sounds. The one thing you have to keep in mind is where to put your rolls. I usually put it before the clap or after the clap somewhere, or before an 808, and you don't really have to go too crazy with the hi-hats. And one thing you can do with your rolls is make them go up to down, and how you do it is just select it with left control, and right here use your right mouse button. I laid down a basic clap pattern, as you can see, and I removed the last clap right here because of the 8/8, but I'm gonna show you that later. Then I moved on to the snares, and I laid down a pretty basic snare, and I'm gonna show you how it sounds with the hi-hats and the claps. Most of the time I put my snare rows at the end of the 4th bar, and this is just it's kind of a transition to the next bar, so yeah. But it's really up to you where you put them, as long as it sounds good. So then I moved on to the open hat pattern, and I just started making my open hats like this, as you can see. I usually do it repetitive, and one thing you can do is put your open hats up some notes, and it will sound more unique. So this is how it sounds. Then I laid down another open hat, but as you can hear it, I'm gonna play it for you. I basically reverse the open hat, so it's kind of transitioning into the clap. And the only thing you have to do is to accomplish this is to reverse your open hat sample. And one thing you can do is play around with these knobs right here. So basically you're controlling when the open hat is gonna start and when it's gonna stop, so it's not all over the place. Then I laid down this 808 pattern right here. I'm gonna play that for you. As you can hear, it's kinda loud, but not really, so it's basically because of the master channel, but I'm gonna show you the master channel later on the video. So one thing you can do is go into a 3rd step mode and lay down these triplets right here, so it's gonna give you that Pyrex vibe. So about the 808, I always just use this cut self. I've seen tutorials where people be boosting their 808 samples. I don't really like that. Basically you just have to maximize the velocity of your 808, and I turn down the higher notes a little bit down because it sounds more loud if the note is up somewhere. So for the master channel, what I usually do is I put on a fruity limiter, I turn off these knobs right here, all down, and I just turn the gain knob down like minus 2.5 decibels. So you really wanna lower the gain as long as your 808 doesn't sound too muddy. I put on a Airvox, really good compressor, and I just turn this compression down 3 decibels. I put on a fresher with these values right here, and I put in an ozone with the automatic master assistant or whatever, and what I usually do is just turn the threshold down with the maximizer, and that's all. You can also really spice up your beats with these risers, and yeah, use transition effects, use every kind of effects you want to spice up the beat so it doesn't sound too boring. One thing I'm gonna show you is this part in the beat right here. When you only hear the beat, it might sound a little complex, but as you can see, it's nothing special. I cut the melody whenever my 808 hit, as you can see. And this is how you do some kind of transitions. I did it later on this beat here, right? As you can see, I'm gonna show you. So right here I didn't play around with the melody, I played around with the other drums, so whenever an 808 hits right here, another hi-hat is cut out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, guys, and make sure to follow us on every platform. Shout out to Loopside Gang for making this happen, and see you in another video. Peace.